We've had a tornado warning now in effect.
Tore up everything, trees down, power lines down. It was pretty intense.
It's just so much devastation. I can't believe it.
Ahead of the storm, presented by FlatSafe.
Spring is blooming here in Tulsa and all around Green Country. Good evening. I'm News on 6 Chief Meteorologist Travis Meyer. For the next 30 minutes, we're on the scene and on this story to keep you safe and ahead of the storm. After a record warm winter, what's in store for spring and summer? I'll have the outlook. Plus, we're going to take you behind the scenes of severe weather. Also introduce you to our warned storm trackers and the newest meteorologists on our News on 6 team and more. As we all know, spring storms are often severe, like the one that spawned a tornado from North Tulsa to Claremore just a year ago. You need to take cover right now. Will, what do you have?
Definite rotation right there in the center. You see the lightning, the rain, and the wind is picking up.
Tornado warning continues in effect in downtown Tulsa.
We have it on the ground. We have a tornado right there.
We do expect golf ball size or larger hail with this storm. It's going to do damage. Again, the good news is small tornado, bad news, it's a tornado.
We can see it right there. You see the house right there and the debris.
This is underneath a huge wall cloud. These are spin-ups that are occurring underneath this huge area, literally air being sucked up into this large supercellular storm. News on 6 anchor Craig Day returns to the areas hit hardest by last year's tornado.
The tornadoes left 26 miles of damage behind in Tulsa and Rogers counties, damaging or destroying hundreds of homes, businesses, and churches, and leaving many people with a hopeless feeling of what to do next.
They totally relayed the whole landscape.
Construction on Kevin and Stacy Charrington's new home is almost finished.
This turned out absolutely amazing.
It's beautiful outside, spacious inside.
We wanted it all wide and welcoming for everybody.
And the couple is excited about moving in soon.
This is my dream home.
But the dream home started with a real-life nightmare. A year ago, a tornado destroyed their house south of Claremore in Rogers County.
It was devastating at first. You know, everything's gone.
What's left is the debris and questions. What do you do? Where do you start? Those are the same questions hundreds of others in Tulsa and Owasso faced in the tornado's aftermath. Several blocks along the 46th Street North Corridor in Tulsa were hammered. The tornado destroyed 5 homes and damaged 301 others. 52 had major damage. 13 businesses and churches were also hit.
Tulsa set up a long-term recovery committee made up of government leaders and nonprofit groups to help people with no insurance or people who were underinsured.
A year later, the group is successfully winding down its work. Tulsa City crews also hauled off 231 tons of storm debris. The Charringtons couldn't believe the help they got from friends, family, and even complete strangers.
It was just overwhelming.
People cleared debris and picked up things that could be saved while lifting the Charrington spirits.
Everybody talks about community, and until you actually live it and are in it and get affected by that, all that love, it's awesome.
Their new house is being built on the same spot as their old one. The first thing installed was a shelter under the garage floor. Stacy says there's often a message behind such a mess, one about gratefulness, overcoming adversity, and lending a hand to those in need.
It just touched my heart, big time.
On the scene, on the story, Craig Day, News on 6.
Many people believe that parts of Tulsa are immune from an actual tornado hit. But are we overdue for the big one? Large swaths of Tulsa have avoided tornadoes since the Creek Indians settled here in the 1800s.
They put out tornado medicine, is our understanding, scattered all around this area to protect the town council and the religious center here from the tornadoes.
That's not the only theory. The bend in the Arkansas River, according to Tulsa weather folklore, is supposed to protect the downtown area. And so far, tornadoes have been north, tornadoes have been south, but they have not been downtown yet. The truth? Tornadoes can and do cross rivers without losing strength, just as they can go over hills and through valleys. Since 1950, 82 tornadoes have hit Tulsa County. The largest, an F4, which ripped through Catoosa in 1993. 19 years earlier, in 1974, 2 F3 twisters created damage in the Brookside area and parts of South and East Tulsa, which weren't that far south, damaging more than 1,000 homes. You're looking at the intersection of 71st and Memorial here in Tulsa, one of the busiest intersections in the entire city. Now, back in June 1974, this didn't exist. There was just a roadway, a stop sign, no Woodland Hills Mall. That didn't come for 2 years later. But if the same tornado that hit here in 1974 hit here today, it is estimated that at least 11,000 people would be directly affected by that tornado. From a now fully developed area around ORU to the bustling retail district on 71st Street and densely populated neighborhoods all around, that tornado's track would have created much more damage today. Tulsa is a huge target compared to 40 years ago. The developed area of the metro region has increased by 128%. It now covers 280 square miles of relatively dense population.
That's a violent tornado.
The developed part of the metro Tulsa area has a 3% chance of being hit by an EF3 to EF5 tornado every year. And with growth continuing, that percentage will rise. While science can't specifically explain why major tornadoes keep hitting a city like Moore, it seems reasonable to believe that Tulsa, relatively unscathed in comparison, is due for another devastating tornado. As for tornado medicine, well, many believe its effects are still warding off disaster today.
As long as it's not disturbed, as long as it's left where it was, it will continue to help Tulsa.
Osage Sky News 6 HD gives us an incredible advantage during severe weather. Pilot Will Cavanaugh is able to get us so close to a tornado that we have a front row seat to the beauty and terror of Mother Nature.
You're always trying to manage that safe distance from a tornado, but yet stay close enough to get good pictures. I was able to stay very close. I was a half mile to 3/4 of a mile close, and we were able to get those really defined, good definition, high contrast type of pictures. So I try to stay east or southeast and try to work that corner there. I don't want to get too far off the nose of the storm when it's going that way, because that's where a lot of lightning and hail is produced. Military gives me that, if you will, the 101, but Travis and Dick have given me the upper level courses in that. The emotions do take you up and down, and you can't get wrapped up in either one. Never panic, trust your training. So when we're up there, I'm looking for just what we got to do now. Our goal is to go out there and to inform the public so they can find safety. We want Tulsa to be safe, and I'm honored to have people think that we're getting that done for them. I will tell you, the most exhilarating flying I have is to fly with the tornadoes, and I'm a very happy man when I'm up there flying. I think if I knew what Mother Nature could really do to me, I probably wouldn't want to go do some of this. So don't look at me as being anything more than, a lucky pilot.
We all know it was a roller coaster ride as we went through our winter. But does that mean that severe weather is going to light up the radar screen for spring? I'll have my exclusive forecast coming up. Lightning is a threat anytime thunderstorms roll in. We'll tell you how to know if you're in danger of being struck, and the 4 words that can keep you alive during dangerous flooding. Plus, our favorite fisherman pulls out some old rods and reels with another Oklahoma meteorologist who's giving him a run for his money on the water.
The most satisfying thing about tracking storms is being able to warn people ahead of time and know that you're probably saving lives. Just about 5 minutes before this tornado, there was 3 on the ground at the same time. The earlier the warning that we can get out, the more lives we'll save.
This was one of those days in the spring where all the conditions were right, where we could have a very big tornado, and that's exactly what happened. I wanted to make sure that I had all the information that I could get back to Travis as fast as I could so that he could get the warnings out and save some lives.
Oh no! Vaughn, get in your house, there's a tornado! Hurry, find a safe place! Oh no! Oh, the tornado! Oh, it's destroying the house! Trav's Wild Weather Camp teaches area kids about severe weather in a fun, interactive way, so they won't be afraid and will stay safe when the weather turns bad. About every year, 50 people die from lightning strikes.
It's one of nature's deadliest phenomenons, but you can stay safe by paying attention to the warning signs that we've all been taught.
When the thunder roars, go indoors immediately. Thunder is the sound of lightning as it heats the air to near 50,000 degrees. When you hear it, you're close enough to be a victim of a strike. If you can't get inside a sturdy structure, don't be an easy target. Lightning often strikes the tallest object. If you're on the golf course, the lake, or on the playing field, you may be the tallest object around. Priority 1 is to head for cover, but don't take shelter under a tree. If hit, the current will flow through the tree and the ground around it. Sheltering under a tree is a leading cause of lightning deaths. A car can provide good shelter. The metal roof and sides protect you as the electric charge goes around the car. Just stay inside until the threat is over. Think you're safe at home? Lightning can travel into your house through the pipes or electrical wiring. That includes the house phone. But you're safe to use a cell or cordless phone. Just don't use plug-in appliances or plumbing during a storm.
Flooding is the most deadly type of severe weather that is often overlooked.
Even in drought, a quick deluge can cause a world of problems here in Oklahoma. Before any flood, it's crucial to know if you live in a flood zone. If you are ordered to evacuate, move quickly to higher ground. Oklahoma storms can produce rainfall rates of up to 4 inches per hour, which can easily catch you off guard. Always avoid a swelling stream. Its levels can rise rapidly and carry many hazardous objects. More than 50% of the average annual 200 U.S. flooding deaths happen in cars and trucks. We see this year after year in green country, and it doesn't have to be a severe storm to make roads impassable. When you come across water covering a roadway where you can't see the pavement beneath, never attempt to cross it. You can stall your engine and put you and your passenger's life in jeopardy. In fact, it only takes 2 feet of moving water to sweep away a car and about 3 feet to move your truck or SUV. The 4 key words to remember are: turn around, don't drown. If you follow suit, you'll be safe from the flood. Simple as that.
When the first storm warning is issued, our entire team jumps into action.
It really is all hands on deck. Here's a look behind the scenes.
Any of those cells that do develop do have the potential again for some damaging winds, some hail, and maybe a few embedded tornadoes.
Still, they can't rule out the potential for a few isolated spin-ups.
With more than 30 years of experience, Travis leads our team of Oklahoma weather experts with skill and precision.
Sky News 6 is right in that location.
We've seen some 60 and 70 mile per hour winds.
When a storm bears down, it's controlled chaos.
From El Reno south, that's a solid line of severe thunderstorm warnings.
But that's when we dig deeper to analyze the radar so we can track the storms minute by minute from every angle.
Many of the area roads and bridges are becoming very waterlogged.
The line of thunderstorm activity is still starting to become solid.
I'm going to go to Will real quick. Will, we have about 15-20 seconds.
With the largest team of storm trackers in the state, News on 6 is on a mission to keep your family safe.
Keep it here. We'll keep you advised. News on 6 can keep you ahead of the storm 24/7. How you can stay connected at home and on the go. Plus, how a downtown Tulsa landmark that used to signal the threat of severe weather is making a comeback.
2 storms really stand out to me. That would be Moore and El Reno. To see these storms come into our area and actually just cause such havoc and actually death and destruction, it really was very sobering to me, and it really provided a sense of importance for what we do in warning the public.
Pick up your copy of the News on 6 Ahead of the Storm tracking map. Coming soon to an Arby's near you from the Oklahoma weather experts.
I'm becoming a storm tracker because I love the way the weather is, and I love community service to help the public be aware when danger arrives. That I can give the detailed information that we need to warn the public.
Take a look at it with Warn Live radar.
She encouraged Carlos by saying, just keep asking questions.
Hey, got one. All right, that's just a little rainbow, I can tell. Just take me a shot or 2 to get warmed up, that's all.
1, 2, 3.
Okay, we've caught a little bit of everything.
If you're in harm's way, we want to let you know about it.
Dick will be hanging up the Gone Fishing sign permanently this summer. After 24 years here at Channel 6, he's decided to call it a career and move into retirement.
But I'm going to be leaving you in some really good hands.
Well, we're excited to announce tonight that meteorologist Lacey Swope is coming home.
She's originally from Green Country. She's an OU grad who's been a meteorologist for our sister station, Oklahoma City, for the past 6 years. And she loves the great outdoors as much as I do.
Tell us a little bit about yourself.
Well, I grew up really small town of Kiefer, Oklahoma. So middle of nowhere, really, and really in Slick also. Kind of split my time both places. We have land out in Slick. So I just grew up in the outdoors, true Okie through and through, you know. All there was to do was hunt and fish. Now, Dick, what just happened here?
Yeah, well, this is just checking to see how much line I've got on my...
Okay. Pro tip there.
Oh, look, you got the first fish.
Dick, we can edit this out too, Dick. You want me to kiss it?
I'm trying to be a gentleman here.
You are quite the gentleman. Mwah.
I saw him come up and hit it, but see, look at him.
Oh, you got him.
There we go. I got him this time.
There you go.
Hallelujah.
That's a good one.
Yeah, well,
That's a nice one.
It's a fish.
You got bass thumb already.
Whoa.
I went to school at OU and majored in meteorology from there, and my goal wasn't to be on TV for the longest time. In fact, until my senior year, I didn't want to be on TV. I wanted to do research and work for the Weather Service. And then I kind of fell into an internship at News 9. And so I was like, you know what, if I can get paid to talk to people about Oklahoma weather, that's what I want to do. And so I get to share my passion every single day of the atmosphere and of our weather with people. And then of course, when our weather turns nasty and it gets a little scary, hopefully calm people's nerves and let them know exactly what's going on. You know, the goal is to keep people safe and keep people informed and give them the most lead time as possible. And I'm so blessed to work for a station that puts the resources into the technology to be the best of the best that we can be. Channel 6, that's what you're known for. I mean, it's an absolute dream. Growing up, you know, knowing I love the weather and knowing that one day I may actually be able to be on TV is one thing, but to work for Channel 6 and to be coming in after you is something I would have never even, in my wildest dreams, have imagined. So
I can tell you right now, you're gonna like her. I've got a t-shirt that says, so many lures, so little time.
Right?
Well, so many lakes, so little time.
Right, but now you're about to have the time.
Well, I hope so, Sure looking forward to it, I know that. I bet by the same token, you're gonna, you know, miss the daily interaction and stuff like that. And we're sure glad to have you with us,
Well,
I tell you.
thank you.
Social media is really changing the way people stay ahead of the storm.
It is, and with just a click, you can get the very latest information and watch live weather coverage 24 hours a day. It's easy to put News on 6 in your pocket by downloading our free news and weather apps for iPhone, iPad, and Android. On the go, you can track radar and get severe weather alerts 24/7 through voice or push notifications.
Current conditions for Tulsa, Oklahoma.
Our app also doubles as a weather radio, alerting you to the latest severe weather in your area, even when the app isn't open. And we'll always live stream at newson6.com whenever severe weather strikes. Watch our storm coverage from our weather and news apps from your laptop or your desktop computer just by visiting newson6.com. You can also text 6Connect to 79640 to have weather alerts and breaking news sent right to your phone. And don't forget to follow the entire weather team on social media. Travis, Alan, Dick, Mike, Stacia, Lacey, and I all have Twitter and Facebook pages you can follow. We update Twitter in real time as the storms move through, and we also stream live to the News on 6 Facebook page during severe weather. Oklahoma weather can change in an instant, and we've made it easy to take News on 6 with you wherever you go to help keep you prepared and ahead of the storm.
We're also going old school, a little throwback social media. In the 1960s, the top of downtown's 320 Boston building was lit up with different colors to alert people miles around to changes in the weather. We're bringing back the Weather Teller. Find out more at newson6.com and here in the days ahead. We've already had a tornado touchdown here in eastern Oklahoma earlier this month. The wild weather that could still be headed our way in less than 3 minutes.
I got interested in storm tracking just from a child watching the storm warnings on TV. I grew up watching Travis, and I thought I could go out and help someone. Having eyes and ears out in the field is crucial in my opinion.
I got interested in tracking severe weather to help the viewers of Green Country, to try to help save lives and property, whether it be severe weather or winter weather storms.
The primary reason I'm a storm tracker is to help save lives. There's no doubt about it. That can be the eye for the TV station to let them know, hey, this is what's going on in this area.
I got interested in tracking storms during the super outbreak of 1974. As a child in Georgia, I remember being in my parents' basement and just wanting to go out and look at the weather, and I was hooked at that time.
So where does this leave us? Because this is a very important part as we look forward to spring. But in order to look forward, we do have to look back so we have some knowledge of the averages. Here in Oklahoma, about 56 tornadoes happen per year. And last year, it was 57 tornadoes, so that's about as average as you can get. But what was weird was there was only one tornado in the state of Oklahoma after May. Normally we'll have a tornado almost every month, but last year was somewhat exceptional. The number of tornadoes in Tulsa County was at 4. That is a lot of tornadoes for Tulsa County itself. We ended up with 11 severe weather days in Tulsa. A couple of those included hail and strong winds and no tornado. But overall, it was just an average severe weather year for this state and for Tulsa. Now, we have been influenced, and we are constantly influenced by the jet stream. That includes El Nino and La Nina. And La Nina, over the course of the winter, did influence our weather. In fact, it influenced California to have a lot more rain than normal. And for us, as we enter into what's now called a neutral phase of the jet stream, this is going to be interesting because what will it do? First of all, we need to know for Oklahoma's severe weather's sake and for our forecasting what is anticipated. We look back and we found out that 3 out of the last 5 Oklahoma tornado outbreaks have been during this neutral phase that we are in. So what does that mean to us here in eastern Oklahoma and in Tulsa? Well, there's a higher probability than normal of more tornadoes, also more hail, and more wind. The flooding risk is down, but unfortunately that also corresponds to the chances of being more in a drought. So as you look at our spring weather, now you can get a good idea that we're expecting a very active spring. Even if there aren't a whole bunch of storms, they should be powerful. Thanks for spending time with us tonight as we look ahead to spring in Oklahoma. Remember, get the latest on the weather right here at News on 6, when you want it at newson6.com, our mobile app, and on our Twitter and Facebook feeds. Our mission is to keep you ahead of the storm. Good night.
Ahead of the Storm has been presented by FlatSafe.